if I ain't happy with what I'm doing, I have to go back and change what I'm thinking. Because as long as you're thinking the same thing, you'll keep experiencing the same thing. You're in charge, take charge. And what you're there to do is, you say pray, okay, I say claim. That's what you're doing when you go there. You're claiming better than the best for yourself. And if you're not, then don't go.
You said something a moment ago. I wanted to touch on it. You said that the question was, do I really believe it? You said start repeating it, and you may ask yourself, do you really believe it? At first, you may not believe it, but when you say it consistently and persistently enough, you're going to rewire that into your brain housing group, and eventually that thought that you're repeating is going to become true for you.
Well, the only reason to study history is so that you can not make the same mistakes again. Yeah. You see what they thought, and because of what they thought, that became their history.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a different history, well, then you can't keep thinking the way they were thinking, because then they don't change. And the point of it is that there's really no one to remind you. You were sent a remembrancer. Okay? In other words, he could have sent you all kinds of things, but he sent you a remembrancer. Because if you remember who you really are, the play's over. But that's what you have to do. You have to remember. And you can remember because you're being sent a remembrancer from God. And if it's a remembrancer, that means he's not the teacher. Jesus was the teacher. But he had to go away, because then the remembrancer would bring back to their remembrance what he had told them. And if that happens to you, you're saved. And you're given to work out your own salvation. And when it says work, it doesn't mean that you got to go out and dig a ditch or nothing. No, it just means you just have to curb your thinking. You know, get it over to the curb, stop, study it a while before you take off again, because you're creating your own monsters. And if you're complaining you can't handle them, well, then let them go. Isn't that what you're told? Let go and let God. Well, you know, but you see, the thing of it is, when you let go, you have to let it go. And you say, well, but that's very, very difficult. Yeah, okay. I agree with you. At first, it is very difficult. As a matter of fact, like I told you, it took me a couple of years to do it. But then I wasn't really the brightest cookie there. So that it had to be simple, or I wouldn't have gotten it. I'm telling you that's really the truth. If it hadn't have been so super simple and pointed out to me as being super simple, I still didn't get it. Really, like cement, you know, it couldn't, or either that or a hoarder of all the junk you got in there, you know. They talk about hoarders, hoarding. Well, that's just an outward function of what a lot of us are doing here. I mean, you got more junk in there than if you really start. Well, no, that you don't want to open that can of worms now. But that's what you will do, though. Once you start thinking properly and start enjoying life and seeing the benefits from doing so, then you'll clean up the whole act. See, because he says, these things I do, you shall do also, and even greater. But as you clean up your act, you get greater and greater into the effects of what you can do. Because, you know, what I found in most of my cases, it was unforgiveness. You see, that was holding me back in many areas of my life, because I was not considering it logically. I was considering it emotionally. And I like logic better. Because it doesn't lead you to so much problems. and emotionally does. When you get upset emotionally, your body just goes into chaos. Really, it does, because hey, your body lives on every word. It may not understand the word, but the feeling it does understand. And that's what it operates on, your feeling. And it is you who are controlling it. So take control of it. I'm not telling you not to go to doctors and stuff like that, because I know most of us are stupid that way. We just won't take care of ourselves. You see, I mean, thank God they're there to catch us when we're not paying attention, because that's all it really is. We're just not paying attention. What has your attention has your life. That's as simple as that. And you bring it on by thinking. Well, you know, actually, maybe he should have made it a little difficult for us. Because it's so super simple, we just goes right through. You know, that I think about that quite a bit. That how right in my face it was. I mean, how obvious it was, and I still couldn't see it. But I was told I was a dummy anyway, so what the hell? I mean, that's it. It's what you think about yourself. See, it's not God holding you back in any way. I mean, he just plainly gave you an invitation to you turn to me, I'll turn to you. So there you are. And if he hasn't turned to you in all your doings so far, he ain't going to bother you. You have to call upon him. See, your challenge, worshiping God, is using his gifts. Then you must already have them. So start worshiping God with his gifts. That means paying attention to what you're thinking about. And that's all there is to it, isn't it?
It is. You were talking about the time it took for you to catch it, and you said because you were unwise. But the truth of the matter is sometimes the hardest people to get these truths, because they're spiritually discerned, are smart people. You know, us that are sometimes foolish, we tend to be more open to spiritual truths than those who are wise in the world.
Yeah, but we don't really want to hear the truth. See, the problem is that it's when the hunger comes upon you to know, then your whole thing shifts.
Yeah.
See, if the hunger hasn't come upon you, then what you're literally saying is that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And I've had people tell me, "Oh, that's ridiculous." Well, is it? Is it? You don't know because you haven't tried it.
Absolutely.
If you'd have tried it, then you wouldn't be here telling me it's ridiculous. You'd be here telling me how wonderful it was, the benefits you got from it. And that's the challenge. I mean, do it. Challenge yourself to do it. Sit in the silence for a while. I mean, it ain't going to hurt you. And just to be still, well, yeah, it probably would hurt some people. It's like when they say, well, I have a question. But by the time they finish, they've asked so many questions, I need a dictionary just to figure out half of what they said. and believe me, all they've done is just stir it up in my own mind. Because then I start trying to answer it, and then that adds to the problem. No, I say that because I am serious about that.
Yeah.
These talks I'm getting, they're coming through me. I mean, if you saw the other version, where'd you go? Where did you go?
I'm not sure. I think I just came back.
I thought maybe I blew you away.
You did. You did.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to blow them away, get them thinking a little bit. Because, come on, really. I mean, who started this? God. Come on. God. Do you expect him to fail? I mean, if you're looking at yourself and you're saying that's a failure of him, no, 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 no. Remember, he gave you choose this day. So you've been choosing the wrong thing. That's your problem. It isn't God. Because you were given. That means not to give, but already given. In other words, you have it in operation right now. Your say. Your say is a valid say. And you're about saying your valid say. Where are you going? Where is it taking you? Is it a delight to just think about, I can sit here for hours and hours and hours. And my wife goes, he's in one of those trances again. Well, actually, it actually is, I guess, I guess it would be seen that way. But the thing of it is, though, is that she says, well, you never seem to have any company. I go, I can call a horse. I can put 5,000 on that mountain, 5,000 on that mountain, watch them kill each other for hours. or we can spend a nice day at the beach. But I get to choose it. You see, that's the beauty of it. You really do get to choose. Every day you have choice to change your mind, means you get a new choice every day. Yeah, I mean, you keep dragging yesterday into a day. Well, then you're going to be miserable already. And you know it in advance that by dragging that into today, you're going to have to suffer that day again. Why do you do that? Why are you punishing yourself? Because God's not punishing you. God loves you. He's not punishing you. He gave you freedom to choose whatsoever. I mean, yeah, that could be punishment. Really. That's right. If you're not awake enough to choose it, well, yeah, that could be dangerous. And it is for many people. And what gets me is someone's feeling bad. So they go around and tell everybody. Why would you want to do that? I mean, up to that point, they may think you're okay and having a nice day and all of that. But then you go tell them you're not. Then their whole mood shifts. You see, if they're paying attention to you, then their mood shifts. Now now you got someone else thinking that you don't feel good, and then she'll tell someone else, or you'll tell someone else, and it just goes. And the next thing you've got a crowd of people all thinking you're feeling terrible, and you're supposed to be laughing or something. No, come on. You're doing it to yourself. See, that's what you want to keep remembering. That's all DeCarlo and I are telling you. If you're having problems, stop dreaming up the monsters. Because you're doing it. It's not being put upon you. It is coming from you. Your world is self-pushed out. See, like I said, just check on what you're pushing out. And all you have to do is just look at your day. How did it go? Did it go your favor? Wonderful. Expand it. But if it didn't, change it. And don't make that sound like it's a real terrible thing to do. It isn't really at all. Because if you start thinking positive, that draws positive thoughts to you. If you dream negative, thinking negative, that draws more negative thoughts to you. All things produce after their own kind. You're the one who is determining the kind that you're thinking.
Sir,
there you are.
That's it. You said it. It's been a pleasure. So we'll end on that note, and then we'll continue. But give me a second. Good stuff.
I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, and I listened to them at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set, and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.